and this one. Well, guys, good evening to all of you. So, guys, today we are discussing the unit 2 of paper 2, right? Macaulay minute, just we have finished the Macaulay minute. Now we are discussing the, ये देखो last one part, which is shaded by green, right? Basic scheme of educations, concept of a Talim and philosophy of work educations. Okay, so you can see in the next PPT. So I'm going to open this PPT. Right. So I'm going to start my lecture here. Varda scheme of basic education, right? By Gandhi ji. Under this, we will discuss the Naitalim, work education, and experiential learning. Okay. Actually, Varda scheme of basic education is known as a Naitalim, right? So, what is Varda scheme of education? Varda scheme of education is also known as नई तालीम, बेसिक एजुकेशन, बुनियादी तालीम, शिक्षा, बेसिक शिक्षा. ये सारे सिनोनिम्स हैं, आपको पता होने चाहिए. यू शुड नो दीज ऑल द वर्ड्स, राइट? क्वेश्चन कैसे भी आ सकता है. So, Varda scheme of education is also known as a Nai Talim, basic education, Bunyadi Talim, Shiksha, basic Shiksha. The scheme was outcome of the sound thinking of Gandhi ji, Mahatma Gandhi ji, who initiated and strengthened several constructive programs for economic, educational, and social development of the people. He considered education as an effective instructions of the national construction, right? Now we will discuss the contemporary relevance of Naitalim, work education, and experiential learning. Okay. So first we discuss the Naitalim. Naitalim or basic education is a principle promoted by the Mahatma Gandhi, which states that knowledge and work are not separate. It was popularly and correctly described as education through handicraft. Okay, ये देखो नई तालीम means the teacher has to teach by learning, by experience approach, right? Means this is not your duty just to see the book and putting into the mind of the student, mugging some of the word, mug up some of the word and put into the mind of the student, right? They said that in knowledge, basically, what is the work of the teacher? Provide the knowledge to the student. So knowledge and work are not separate. It was popularly and correctly described as education through handicraft. Basic education links the children, whether of the cities or villages, to all that is the best and lasting in India. Mahatma Gandhi said that. What are the main principles of a Gandhiji Naitalim? Gandhiji's Naitalim or basic education was a holistic approach of developing body, mind, and soul. Most important, right? Most important line hai guys ye. By making a productive art, craft, or community engagement activity as a center of a learning, right? So according to the Gandhiji's Nai Talim, there should be a universal minimum educations to all the children. देखो कितना important है. Universal minimum educations to all the children. कि at least minimum level of education was gained by all the children in India. गांधी जी टोल्ड, देखो कितना पहले इन्होंने बता दिया था, राइट? 80-90-100 साल पहले, राइट? द सिस्टम ऑफ एजुकेशन इज नेटिव एंड नॉट इंपोर्टेड फ्रॉम अदर कंट्रीज. The course of this education is to run for 7 years of a beginning from the age of 7. Guys, try to understand this concept. This is a concept of a Gandhiji. He gave to the education system. The concept of a Gandhiji is called the Nai Talim. He said that whatever you have to teach to the student, teach with the craft, right? Because knowledge and work are not separate. देखो आज today in our new education policy, we are learning these things, but Gandhi ji told 70-80 years before. अब ये देखिए उस टाइम. और ये मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट लाइन है, व्हाट द गांधी जी हैज सेड, द कोर्स ऑफ दिस एजुकेशन इज टू रन 7 years beginning from the age of 7. Basic education must be imparted through the mother tongue. In its method, teaching learning practices is it must be woven around some sort of a art or handicraft. The craft chosen must be systematically learned with a view to efficiency and practical result. The state should cover the rest of the expenses of school building, furniture, books, maps, and the whole of apparatus. देख लो क्या जबरदस्त इन्होंने कंसेप्ट ही हैज गिवन. एंड व्हाट इज द रेलेवेंस सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द नाइट लीम इज अ फिलॉसफी ऑफ ए लर्निंग एंड लिविंग. क्या बात है, व्हाट एन इंपॉर्टेंट लाइन. व्हाट द आप सोच देखो कितनी डीप थिंकिंग है. मतलब आप ये देखो, आई टेल यू द ट्रुथ, आई एम टेकिंग बीएड क्लास फ्रॉम लास्ट 20 years. एंड गाइज अभी 3-4 साल पहले, just 3-4 years back, this concept of a night theme is added in the B.Ed course. हाँ, ये full fledged paper है. In our paper, this is the second paper ना, contemporary Indian and education, right? This is a one topic, but in many of the universities there is a full fledged paper. The name of the paper is a night theme. मतलब it has come in the B.Ed course after so many years. After so many years, आप ये देखिए, right? Students should develop an intellect understanding of the local civic engagement sphere, pursuing positive changes in ourselves, our institutions, and our local communities. Learning occurs through the exchange of ideas, active listening, and challenging assumptions. Students improve their skills in facilitating and working within team. ये देखो टीम वर्क, कॉन्सेप्ट टीम वर्क का दे दिया. अब जो भी हम मॉडर्न अप्रोच आजकल हम देख रहे हैं ना, ये तो ऑलरेडी वी हैव अवर, यू कैन से दैट एजुकेशनिस्ट, दे हैव गिवन सो मेनी इयर्स बैक, राइट? लाइक गांधी जी, रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर, स्वामी विवेकानंद. ओके, तो वही कंसेप्ट, यानी कि हम ये देखो आज हम जो पढ़ते हैं, तो ये नहीं कि दिस इज द न्यू कंसेप्ट हैज कम. मैंने, that's why I have told you ना, our education system was so strong. Okay, if you learn the education system before independence, okay, actually how the Britishes ruled our country. When they came in India, they have come to know that we cannot rule the India until we have to destroy the education system of India first, right? So students improve their skills in facilitating and working within teams. They learn and practice networking, conflict resolution, consensus building, and negotiation skills, facilitating relationships and supporting local community building process. Students learn about social justice issues from local and global perspectives and develop an understanding of the history and political and cultural context of these issues. Meet people pursuing various livelihoods where they are working and pursuing the respective livelihoods. All learners have the capacity to excel. अब आ गया वर्क एजुकेशन. व्हाट इज द रेलेवेंस ऑफ ए वर्क एजुकेशन? ये आपस में सारे ऑल आर सेम थिंग. नाइट लीम, वर्क एजुकेशन, बेसिक स्कीम ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, राइट? Work education is viewed as a purposive and meaningful manual work, organized as integral part of the learning process and resulting into goods or services useful to community besides the pleasure of a fulfillment. देखो what the Mahatma Gandhi has said. ये देखो, इसको मैं अंडरलाइन करता हूं. Mahatma Gandhi has said that our education has got to be revolutionized. The brain must be educated through the hand. Through the hand. Yes. Means whatever we are learning now, we have to work, we have to implement also. Right? Learning by doing. Actually, in a one line, you can say that the concept of a Mahatma Gandhi is that learning by doing. Whatever we are learning, we have to, implement on that action. And when the teacher has to teach in the class, he has to teach in this way so that student can do that thing with their own hands. Okay. So, work education can further enable the children to discover their real interests and aptitudes, which would be helpful to them in selecting suitable courses of a study and occupations later on. It should be an essential components all the stages of education, all the stages of educations, pre-primary, primary, secondary, even up to the higher education. In short, we can say that work education gives respect and dignity to all type of workers in all sector of the community. It creates social awareness for the welfare of a society by providing importance to physical world and by giving the benefits of living a physical healthy life. अब गाइस देखो क्या हो रहा है, राइट? हमारा जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है ये बहुत ही मतलब देयर इज ए नीड टू बी रेवोल्यूशनाइज्ड एज गांधी जी हैज सेड दैट एक्चुअली इफ यू थिंक दैट in our education system what is happening after 10th, after matriculation, after 10 plus 2, when the child leaves the school, so what he is getting, have you thought that what he is getting? Matlab, we never thought that what we are making the students, what we are making the children, what we are putting into the mind of the children, they are becoming robot, nothing else. Nothing else. Guys, if the student is taking 97% marks, okay, so you can think that he has worked only a intellectual level, right? There is a need of a holistic development in area. There is a need to work also. Basically, the purpose of education should be bread and butter. Means after the education, student should be able to earn bread and butter. So what our education system is giving or not, आपने देखा होगा ना एक होड़ मची हुई है. बेबी बॉर्न होता है 3 साल का होता नहीं है, पेरेंट्स क्या करते हैं, put into the education system. Ab now you have seen that number of a people, number of a parents, they are giving their children to the home education. Okay. So because education system is making a only, you can say, theoretical knowledge, not the practical knowledge. So in this topic, ninth Talim, Gandhi ji said that education must be like that. you know uh, Knowledge and work can't be separate, right? Therefore now you have seen in the new education policy, we have finished in the new education policy, in the class of a 6th or 7th, there is a coding system. And now vocationalization has come in the classes of a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Means from the 5th class, 6th class, we have to train the student, giving the vocationalization, so that when the student will complete 10th or 10 plus 2, he must have some skills. At least they can earn, right? Major categories or work of, इसको एक बार हटा देते हैं, clear all drawings. Major categories of a work which need to be specifically stressed include work pertaining to the needs of an individual, such as a health, hygiene, clothing, cleanliness, etc. Work at home to be performed as a member of the family. Work in the classroom, school, and in the out of the school activities integrated with school life. Work as learning experience through other subjects such as a physical education, art education, social studies, science, and others. Work in the community focused on the self-service, selfless service. Work relating to the vocational development, production, social usefulness, and exploration of the opportunities and care pathway. Even in our National Policy of Education 1986 has given this concept, work education, as purposive and meaningful manual work that results in goods or services which are useful to the society. Means education should be such type, earn while you learn, right? The main thing is, guys, to implement that, right? अब what are the objectives and relevance of a work education? ये देखो, ये 3 डोमेन्स देखिए जरा. It is a very important to understand that. मतलब ये being teachers, what is our duty? We have to work on these 3 domains. ठीक है, टू अवर सन्स एंड डॉटर्स, इवन आपके बच्चे भी हैं घर पे, और इवन टू योर चिल्ड्रन, स्कूल स्टूडेंट्स आल्सो. ओके, you have to work on cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, affective domain, right? You know, if I ask from you, what do you understand by psychology? क्या है psychology? Psychology is the science of behavior, right? Behavior is again categorized into the three part: cognitive, cognitive and affective. Okay, यही होंगे. कॉग्निटिव बिहेवियर कौन सा होता है? हैविंग द नॉलेज, अंडरस्टैंडिंग, राइट. और जो कॉग्निटिव है, विच इज कॉल्ड साइकोमोटरिक डोमेन, स्किल्ड होंगे उनके, राइट. मोटर एक्टिविटीज उनकी, वो जल्दी दे विल लर्न. ओके, दोस पीपल हैविंग द साइकोमोटर डोमेन, हैविंग द कॉग्निटिव बिहेवियर, they will learn quickly dance, quickly swimming, riding a bike. Okay, and affective domain, if the person having the affective behavior, तो means वो बड़े इमोशनल से होंगे, right? तो basically we human beings are more or less, we are the product of these three things: cognitive, cognitive and affective. Because psychology हमारा जो behavior है, right? Psychology is as a science of a behavior. और behavior को when we categorized, है ना, we are done in the chapter 1, childhood and growing up, right, in the three domains. So guys, whenever we are dealing with the teaching learning process, education system, the teacher has to teach. Whenever the teacher has to teach in the class, he should have in the mind, he have to work on these three things, these three domains. यही तीन domains होती हैं. कौन कौन सी domain है? Cognitive domain, psychomotor और affective. Means you have to motivate. When I say that now, what is teaching? Teaching means arousing the learning power of the student. This is called teaching. Teaching क्या चीज होती है? What is teaching? Teaching होती है to stimulate the learner, to arouse the learning power of the student. Means you have to work on these three domains: cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. Gandhiji has said that, coming back to the topic, Gandhiji said that work education you must integrate into the education system in order to work these all the domains. However, work education helps the people means students, peoples to develop respect for manual work and regard for manual workers, inculcate social desirable values such as self-reliance, helpfulness, cooperative teamwork, perseverance, tolerance, etc. Develop proper work habits and values such as regularity, punctuality, discipline, honesty, efficiency, love of excellence, and dedications to the duty. Develop self-esteem and confidence. Develop a deeper concern for environment and a sense of a belongingness, responsibility and commitment to the society. Develop awareness of socio-economic problem of the society. तो ये सारा का सारा, ये तीनों जो डोमेन्स हैं, ये व्हेन वी इंटीग्रेट द वर्क एजुकेशन, नाइटलिम या एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, व्हेन वी स्टार्ट टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग फ्रॉम दैट वे, ओनली देन द रियल एम ऑफ एजुकेशन वी कैन अचीव, राइट. इसी के साथ है एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, ये वही का टॉपिक है, इसी का एक टॉपिक है ना हमारा, उसमें एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग भी, राइट. ये गांधी जी ने उस टाइम दे दिया था. अभी नाउ एक डेविड कॉब हुए हैं, उन्होंने भी कंसेप्ट दिया है, उसका उनका भी नाम आई हैव मेंशन्ड इन दिस टॉपिक आल्सो, राइट. तो एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग क्या चीज होती है, राइट. ये वही चीज है अंडर द बेसिक स्कीम ऑफ एजुकेशन. ओके, एक बार आप सिलेबस भी देख लो, सो दैट यू विल कम टू नो दैट ये सारा वही हो रहा है हमारा. ये देखिए जरा, ये गाइस देखो जरा, राइट. सबसे नीचे यूनिट 2 में, यूनिट 2 का नीचे बेसिक स्कीम ऑफ एजुकेशन 1937, objective merits and demerits, concept and need of a Talim, and philosophy of work education and experiential learning, right. तो वापस आते हैं एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग पे. इसको अंडरस्टैंड करो एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग को, राइट. एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग इज रेफर टू एज ए लर्निंग थ्रू एक्शन, लर्निंग बाय डूइंग, लर्निंग थ्रू एक्सपीरियंस. वर्क एजुकेशन भी वही था, नई तालीम भी वही थी, ठीक है ना, गॉट इट ना. तो एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग इज रेफर टू एज ए लर्निंग थ्रू एक्शन, लर्निंग बाय डूइंग एंड लर्निंग थ्रू एक्सपीरियंस. It is a process through which students develop knowledge, skills and values from direct experience. Means have you taught these students in that way? Tell me आपको concept ही नहीं पता होगा तो how you can teach that? Teaching is not everybody's cup of tea, guys. Teaching is a science. ये जो होती है ना pedagogy, pedagogy means how you deliver the knowledge. मतलब you should have the knowledge of this. You have to work here, right? Only then you can teach. In India, in this time also, in today's time, we have dearth of teachers, that lack of good teachers. Yes. And always remember, if any of the country develops, they develop only for the good teachers, due to the good teachers. आप ये देखो जापान और ये सब जो कंट्रीज हैं, कुछ एक कंट्रीज दे गॉट इंडिपेंडेंस थ्रू 1947, 1950, 1940, right? Oh, they have developed country now. This time we call them, and India is a developing country because we worked very less on the education system since independence, right? So experiential learning, it is a process through which students develop knowledge, skills, and values from direct experience outside a traditional academic settings like internship, service learning, undergraduate research, study abroad, and other creative and professional work experience. डेविड कॉब ने भी ये कंसेप्ट दिया है, इवन हम तो गांधी जी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ये कर रहे हैं ना, तो डेविड कॉब ने भी ये कंसेप्ट दिया है एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग का. ही सेड दैट लर्निंग इज ए प्रोसेस whereby knowledge is created through the transformation of experience. Okay, मतलब if you want that na कि concept should be learned by the student, then you have to teach like that, right? Whatever the knowledge you are passing, you have to think that how I have to pass the knowledge so that it will become the direct experience. When it will become the direct experience, when the student will learn by their hands, okay, it will become the permanent learning. Okay, now the students are, why they are not getting a good learning? Because of the teacher. I have already told you many times. याद रखना, always remember one thing: student is never ever weak. Child is never ever weak. Children are born genius. All the children on this planet, they are the genius. Yes. Weak kaun hai? Who are weak? Weak are teachers. Okay, because they don't know how to teach. They don't know how to motivate. Their attitude also, they don't have the good attitude, right? They don't have the sound knowledge of a philosophy, psychology, teaching, learning process. Yes. What we are, have you thought about it? But we are a product of it, just like 3 or 4 5 persons which have influenced our life more and more. वो हमारे elders हो सकते हैं, teachers हो सकते हैं, right? So this is the reason B.Ed or M.Ed has become the mandatory to become a teacher and learner. आप ये देखिए, आप यू कैन से दैट इट इज अनफॉर्चुनेट कि भाई टिल अभी 5-7 साल पहले तक B.Ed M.Ed was not mandatory. If any of the person does the graduation, post graduation, and start come for the interview, and we select, schools are selecting the teacher, and they start teaching to the students. In actually, guys, one of the person has said they were not teaching without B.Ed or M.Ed. If without B.Ed or M.Ed, if the person teach to the student, actually they cheat to the students. You never know that. If the reasoning power is killed by the students, so teachers are the responsible for killing the reasoning powers. They don't know how to start the topic first. राइट तो ये वही चीज वी आर लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग वी हैव टू एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग इज ए लर्निंग थ्रू एक्शन लर्निंग बाय डूइंग एंड लर्निंग थ्रू एक्सपीरियंस बिकॉज अकॉर्डिंग टू द डेविड कॉब आल्सो लर्निंग इज द प्रोसेस वेयर बाय द नॉलेज इज क्रिएटेड थ्रू द ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस अब ये कंसेप्ट समझ लो एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग का डेविड कॉब ने दिया है मतलब यू कैन मेंशन इन द क्वेश्चन आल्सो most made popular by the education theorist David A. Cobb. Based on this idea, the learning is a process whereby knowledge is created through transformation of experience. Four main elements which operate in a continuous cycle during the learning experience: concrete, रिफ्लेक्टिव, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट और एक्टिव एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन। ये चार है, ये साइकिल है, इसको अंडरस्टैंड करो। ये देखो, कॉन्क्रीट एक्सपीरियंस, रिफ्लेक्टिव, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट और एक्टिव एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन। दिस इज अ साइकिल ऑफ एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, राइट? मीन्स ये मतलब ना, फ्रॉम दिस, आफ्टर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस कंसेप्ट ऑफ एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, यू विल कम टू नो दैट गाइस हाउ यू हैव टू टीच टू द स्टूडेंट, how the learning occurs. You will come to know how the learning occurs, how you have to teach to the students. Okay, so these all things you will come to know, because whatever the B.Ed syllabus you are learning, you are discussing, I'm discussing with you, you are learning. Basically you have to think in your mind, you are learning for which purpose. You should know how to teach, how the learning occurs, how the teaching occurs, right? B.Ed basically it is a training. You here you are taking a training basically, क्योंकि B.Ed भी एक systematically it is a teaching methodology, right? After doing the art subject, you are called as a graduated, but B.Ed basically is, after doing this you will become master of a teaching learning process. So B.Ed makes you good teacher, right? So all the concept is here. Whenever you have to learn it, think yourself you are a teacher and you have to teach to the student. You have to teach like that. You have to learn that type. Okay. So this is a cycle of experiential learning: concrete, reflective, abstract और active experimentations. ठीक है, अब देखो जरा. Number one, Cobb and Fry described experiential learning as a four-part cycle. Number one, the learner has concrete experience with the content being taught. Okay, whenever the teacher teach to the student, वो concrete experience तो बन गया है. अब क्या होगा? Next, the learner reflects on that experience by comparing it to the prior experience. What the learner will do, whatever the teacher has taught, he will comparing in the mind with his previous knowledge. So here guys, you are understanding that whenever you have to teach, you have to make sure that student have prior knowledge of this topic or not. If they don't have the prior knowledge, guys, discard that topic. Yes, first give the prior knowledge. What the teacher are doing that? कोई भी topic उठा लिया and start teaching to the student. This is the reason their learning power is not developing, because it is said that the outcome of the student, the result of the student depends upon the teacher, how they have taught. Second, the learner reflects on that experience by comparing it to prior experience. Third, based on the experience and reflection, the learner develops new ideas about the content being taught. ये देखिए अंदर मेमोरी के पैटर्न है, मेमोरी ऐसे, माइंड ऐसे वर्क करता है. Yes, whatever we gain the knowledge, we compare with the previous knowledge. When we compare with the previous knowledge, so then our mind start giving the new ideas. Or if you are giving the topic to the student without knowing whether they have got the prior knowledge or not, so what you are making the students better. Then fourth क्या हो गया? The learner acts on his new idea by experimenting in an experiential setting. अब इसकी एग्जांपल समझो जरा. ये देखो एग्जांपल के थ्रू, ठीक है? एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, वो चारों चीजें आ जाएंगी. रिफ्लेक्टिव ऑब्जर्वेशन, थिंकिंग अबाउट राइडिंग एंड वॉचिंग अनदर पर्सन्स राइड ए बाइक. Abstract conceptualization, understanding the theory and having a clear grasp on the biking concept. Concrete experience, receiving practical tips and techniques from a biking expert. अब active part क्या आ गया? Leaping on the bike and have a go at it. Right? You have to learn once, twice from the theory in the detail. Okay, then the concept would be clear into your mind. Right, guys? अब ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, राइट? ये सेकंड लास्ट स्लाइड है. अब objective and principles of experiential learning, it means when you will start teaching learning process with like experiential learning, like Nai Talim, like work education. So what will happen? The magic will happen. वो क्या magic है? Just see that. When any of the teacher in the world teach like that, so what happens? It affects the learner's cognitive structure. वो आ गया ना कॉग्निटिव स्ट्रक्चर, थ्री डोमेन्स होगी ना, कॉग्निटिव, कॉग्निटिव एंड अफेक्टिव. Action theories, attitudes, values, perceptions, and behavioral pattern. Experiences are designed to evoke decision making, initiative, relationship building, and accountability in learners. Learner accept a new system of action, thought, attitude, and behavior pattern when they accept a membership in a new group. Provides learner to get practical experience and application of the knowledge for better understanding. Experiential learning fosters an interest and connections to lifelong learning. ये देखो, when you teach with the from that way experiential learning, then the learning becomes the lifelong learning, right? Develop a critical and abstract thinking skills for better problem solving and relationship building for learners. Importance and scope of experiential learning. Experiential learning fosters development of a self and organization. This method is a learner centered rather than teacher centered. ये देखो, ये learner centered method है. हाँ, actually ना, what is our problem? We think that if the topic is known to us, we think that student will also learn it. It is wrong, guys. If you know that topic thoroughly, for example, you have the mastery of one or two topic, for example, guy, okay, it means you only have the knowledge. You cannot claim that your student will understand. Up now, that particular topic which you have the mastery, okay, you have to put into the mind of the student, guys, for this now, there is a need of a pedagogy, teaching style. You should know the better teaching style, how you have to transfer the knowledge. This is called the pedagogy. This is called the teaching. If you do not know how to transfer the knowledge, you are not called as a good teacher. Okay. Right? So this method is a learner centered rather than the teacher centered. It means that the curriculum gives learner an opportunity to engage in a curriculum and the student play an active role in the process. It brings about change and better understanding of attitude of the people. It brings about perfection in the performance of job, helps in maintaining better relationship. It helps in meeting challenges faced by the organization. Use of a multiple senses can increase retention of what is learned. Client-centered learning becomes the focus. Experiential learning gives opportunity to prepare for real life and work situation. अब ये देखो, how can school use experiential learning? Mock trials and debates. Have you arranged mock trials and debates in your whole teaching? पूरे साल के अंदर, whole of the year. Organize business internship, school camps, undertaking drill to develop specific physical skill, community services opportunities like NSS camp, NCC camps, studies tour to international university where student experience on campus life and undertake undergraduate study. Simulation, such as in a business studies class examining the factor behind stock market fluctuations. Scientific experiments or open-ended inquiries to determine cause and effect. तो ये सारे के सारे guys, these are the benefits of the experiential learning, right? तो ये जो टॉपिक था आपका वर्धा स्कीम ऑफ एजुकेशन, under this Talim work education and experiential learning, right? You can see on this part, so we are finished this part, right? Basic scheme of education, objective, concept of Talim, work experience, work education, experiential learning, right? Notes I have already given to you. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for this lecture. Thanks, guys. Thanks to all of you. Thank you, guys.